Thank you very much, Braden, and a very good afternoon to you at home from the sports desk. The Netball World Cup trophy is arriving on South African soil, and that's ahead of the global showpiece at the end of July in Cape Town. The trophy was picked up in London this week by Netball South Africa's top brass as we build up to a historic first ever World Cup to be hosted on the African continent. All the action is taking place in Durban this afternoon, and it's not proper action unless eNCA's very own award-winning reporter Hloni Mtimkhulu rubber stamps it. She's joining me live now to just take us through what exactly is going to be happening where she is. Good afternoon to you, Hloni. So we do know that a football World Cup once upon a time disappeared before being found ahead of a tournament. So we're hoping that that's not the same fate for the Netball Prize. Has it arrived safely and soundly in our country?
Good afternoon, Miranda. No such troubles for the Netball World Cup trophy. It has arrived. We were told that they were meant to land at around 25 to 5. They did land at 20 to 5. So they are here. They are going through customs, and then they will make their way shortly out of the arrivals terminal into the festivities that you do hear behind me. I can barely hear you, and I can barely hear myself. So I take it that maybe if I step out of shot, you can see a little bit of what's happening behind me. So there are festivities that are here. As you said, the Netball World Cup trophy is here. It is the first African World Cup, the first World Cup in South Africa. The World Cup has been happening since 1963, and it hasn't reached Africa yet, and it will do so in about 64 days' time. That trophy is going to begin a 6-week tour that begins today, that goes throughout KZN over the next, from today until the 29th, then goes throughout the country until it gets to its eventual stop in Cape Town, or the Western Cape, of course, because Cape Town is the host, of course, of that first African Netball World Cup. So we're expecting the trophy to come out in about 20 or 30 minutes' time. It has definitely landed. No worries about that. And just to say, it is a big year of World Cups, right? So just a reminder that this is not the only trophy tour that is happening. I'm going to slip in a bit of football because the FIFA Women's World Cup trophy tour is also happening. It's in Europe at the moment. It's heading to Australia and New Zealand, where those two countries will host the Women's World Cup as well.
All right, Hloni, we will leave you to it. We're definitely going to be catching up with you a little later on when things do get underway. So we're going to allow you to step away from that noise. We are seeing in your background there that, of course, there are scholars who have also been let to come out to the airport as they also get a first glimpse of the World Cup trophy that has arrived in South Africa. So, of course, as Hloni did say, according to the program that she's been handed, that we too have received, 25 to 5, that's 16:35, is when the president of Netball South Africa, Ms. Cecilia Molokwani, as well as that trophy and the rest of the NSA top brass had touched down in Durban, of course, with that trophy coming from London. So the tour is set to begin, and ultimately the final destination is going to be Cape Town, because that is where, at the international Cape Town International Centre, of course, that's where it's going to be happening, that's where it's going to be presented, and that's where all the action of the historic World Cup is going to be.